Hello, this is JY83, and this is a brand new video about the F1 2017 season. And it is the prediction video for Australia, which is happening this weekend, which is pretty exciting. So I'm in a sprint lobby right now, and I'm just going to be going through our predictions. It seems like everyone's leaving, which isn't good. But yeah, I'll be going through my predictions for the Australian Grand Prix this weekend. And yeah, let's get into it then. So as it on the grid, I thought I'd just start the predictions by saying that I think Lewis Hamilton will win the Australian Grand Prix, which is fairly straightforward. I think everyone thinks that, unless they're pretty optimistic, to say the least. So yes, I'm going to put Lewis Hamilton to win, and also Lewis Hamilton in the World Championship, which I've said quite a few times in other prediction videos. So Hamilton, I think, will win and get pole position and absolutely smash Bottas and probably smash him all season. And then next after him, I reckon there's 5 red lights, and away we go for the sprint lobby. I reckon alongside finishing off the podium will be both Ferrari drivers of Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel. So yeah, very bold claim I think that is, even though they have shown pace in testing. I reckon Mercedes have actually been sandbagging, so I'm not too confident for Ferrari's title aspirations, but I reckon they'll do well at the start of the season and get a double podium here in Australia. And Räikkönen to beat Vettel, which I think might be slightly bold because most people think Vettel's better, which I do as well, but we saw at the end of last season, that's a massive dive bomb. We saw at the end of last season, Raikkonen was actually out qualifying Vettel most times, really. Oh, I've been absolutely smashed there. I've been punted by that Mercedes. And again, who's punted me now? And that Haas car has absolutely just killed me. So that's good. And yeah, so that's the end of the racing for this video then. And next up in 4th place, I've said, is Max Verstappen, who I reckon, because Red Bull don't seem to have the quickest car, or anywhere near the quickest car really, I reckon that they'll go for an aggressive strategy. Maybe like a 3-stop compared to everyone else's 2 stops or something like that. So that'll mean Verstappen will jump ahead of the likes of Bottas and his teammate Ricciardo and get 4th place, which I think could be a pretty good place for him to finish. And next in line, I've put Valtteri Bottas, who the amount I could say about Bottas is pretty long, as I don't actually think he's very good at all. And I reckon he'll come 5th and be absolutely smashed by Hamilton and probably smashed by him all season. I'd be surprised if he gets more than 3 wins out of the 20 races that are happening. So yeah, I don't rate Bottas much at all. I'd much rather if they went for someone like Alonso or Vettel, but obviously Toto Wolff won't be that exciting. So what can you do? Bottas is at Mercedes, and I reckon he'll get 5th place and just show how bad he is in the first race. And next is Ricciardo, who's the homeboy, who I'm actually racing as in his sprint lobby. So yeah, I've not been too optimistic with him. 6th place is a pretty low down position for the Red Bull, but I reckon we've seen a lot in the past, especially with Mark Webber, that absolutely everyone who's Australian gets bad luck at the Australian Grand Prix. I think I'm right in saying that there's never been an Australian driver on the podium, I should say. So I reckon that will continue, as we've got someone off as my teammate actually, who's just about to quit, I reckon. Yes, he has. And yeah, so I reckon Ricciardo will get 6th, which is disappointing. We obviously saw him get 2nd in 2014, I think, and then he got disqualified from that race. So yeah, just showing the amount of bad luck that Australians seem to get at their home Grand Prix is pretty high. And next in line, I have the Renault of Nico Hülkenberg, who's actually my favourite driver on the grid, so I'm not at all biased, but I reckon he'll get 7th, which is a pretty decent position, I'd say, for Renault, as they're ahead of, well, my predictions say they're ahead of both Force Indias with Hülkenberg, so I'm pretty sure they take that at the start of the season for their first race back as their proper team. I know they were here last season, but this is the first shot they've had at an actual car, rather than the 2015 Lotus that was actually just adapted for the 2016 rules. But I'm not getting into that now. Next I have Felipe Massa. So a lot of people are predicting Williams to be easily the 4th best team. I'm pretty sceptical of that, because they've got a very weak driver lineup, and there were rumours that a lot of their quick runs in testing or qualifying laps, whereas other teams like Force India, Renault, Red Bull, Toro Rosso even weren't doing qualifying runs too much. So I don't think Williams have actually got as much pace as they showed in testing compared to other teams, which is why I've put Massa down in 8th. A lot of people are tipping him for like top 4 finish, which I don't think is going to happen. And yeah, he's in 8th for me. Next up is Esteban Ocon, who I'm predicting to get his first points in Formula 1 at the Australian Grand Prix. So yeah, Ocon 9th, which I think Force India, they might not take that, but it's a decent starting point to push on from. And 10th place, can't quite remember, I'll just scroll down here, is Carlos Sainz actually. So yeah, Sainz, the Toro, it's very, very difficult to predict the midfield, because you've got so many teams like Renault, Force India, Williams, Toro Rosso, McLaren, even if they actually get half decent, are all in the midfield part of the scene, so it's very difficult to predict the order, but I've gone for Carlos Sainz in 10th. So that is who I think will round up the points finishes, and I reckon he'll take that for the start of the season just to get some points on the board. And that also means the likes of Jolyon Palmer, both Haas drivers, both McLarens, and Daniel Kvyat won't be scoring points. Even Sergio Perez actually I've predicted he won't score points. So yeah, they'll be disappointed obviously. And the Saubers also, who I think will be pretty much at the back all season. I'd be surprised if they score any points next season, but they have got a decent driver in Pascal Wehrlein, so anything's possible. And fastest lap, what I'm doing right now is reading off my predictions on gppredictor.com, so I'm in a league on that on AOR, the AOR prediction league, so I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to go and join, make your predictions, and there's a little league table as who's actually doing the best. So fastest lap I've predicted as Daniel Ricciardo, who I think Red Bull will just put them on aggressive strategy, as I said with Verstappen, but they'll put them both drivers on the aggressive strategy, and then Ricciardo will just bang out a fastest lap in the last 3 laps of the race just for the sake of it after he's finishing 6th. And he's not really happy, so he's just going to bang out a purple lap, so he's got something to take away from the weekend. But that's a pretty detailed prediction, I would say, so very unlikely that actually comes true. And then positions gained, I've guessed Esteban Ocon, so the reason for that is he's never had a good car to qualify in, so I doubt he's very good at qualifying, to be honest. So, and I've got him finishing 9th, so pretty safe bet, I'd say. Maybe not safe bet, as it's pretty much a punt as to whether you get that one right, but I've gone for Esteban Ocon. So yeah, that is the predictions for my 2017 Australian Grand Prix. I will be reviewing these perhaps on Monday, maybe Sunday afternoon, I'm not quite sure yet. And I'll be trying to get these out every weekend for when a race is on. So next race is China, which I'm actually racing at now in this sprint lobby. But yeah, so there are my predictions of the Australian Grand Prix. Leave a like if you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more. It's been J183, and I will see you next time.